Welcome to Healing with Angelica. Assalamu alaikum, family, peace, healing, and life, and welcome back to another episode of Healing with Angelica's podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And if you are new to the show, welcome, beautiful souls. On today's episode, we have an amazing guest joining us today. Such a beautiful soul. He is an amazing Reiki Master and teacher, Brother James Green Jr., as we'll be discussing today's topic, the power within, unlocking self-healing through Reiki. Brother James, welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing well, sis, and it's a pleasure to be on the show. I say assalamu alaikum to my Muslim family. And before we start, there was something that Allah put on my heart that I wanted to make sure I said. And that is, I've been interviewed twice. And Allah brought it to my attention that the first person who interviewed me was Sister Angela from Vanguard TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm being interviewed by you, Sister Angelica.
Oh, wow.
And so Allah was like showing me like, yeah, see, I got the angels around you. You good? I got the angels around you. And then as far as for Reiki Day, I had my father who was an angel, and Brother Munikai was also an angel for me. I'm not sure. I think you interviewed him, but I'm not exactly sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make sure that the family knew that. And Allah was showing me that you and obviously Sister Angela, obviously you have a connection to the angels. Sister Angela is one of my Reiki students, and she has a connection to the Atlantean angels, which, you know, whenever you can, sis, get back to me on that. And Sister Angelica, from what I'm getting, you have a connection to Gabriel. He has some things for you, so whenever you get a chance, check in with him. So I just wanted to get that out the way first. I'll put that on my head. I wanted to make sure I said that it didn't get lost in the sauce somewhere.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting. Look at Allah.
Yes, ma'am.
Praise be to Allah.
He does that to me all the time. A whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it just popped into my head as I was thinking about doing this interview. And then he showed that to me, like, wait a minute, Sister Angelica, wait, hold up. Both of them got angels in their names. Wow.
Yes. So beautiful. Oh my gosh. Love it, love it, love it. Brother James, for those who may not know who you are, do you mind letting our audience know just a little bit more about you?
Yes, ma'am. Brother James, I'm a father of 3 children on the spectrum. I'm also the son of, believe it or not, 2 natural born healers. Both my father and my grandfather were natural born healers. I found out a little later in life that I was a natural born healer as well. And basically, my calling, what I want to do is I want to see God come out of everybody, which is why this once again, Allah with the title that he gave this, once again, he spoke through, and I didn't say nothing, but I want to help people to bring the God force, the God energy out of themselves. And Reiki is one of the keys that he showed me that we can use to do so. So, and I've been on this journey for a while. I started Reiki in 2009. I became a Usui Reiki Master 2011. Shout out to my sensei, Tina Harris. And one more story I got to tell real quick. When the minister was sick, I had called Brother Mark of number 6, and I asked him how could I help. I wanted to use my Reiki to help him heal. And my brother said to me, well, brother, you know, the minister is our man, and he has the best that we can offer, that we can find for him. He said, I don't know a whole lot about Reiki, but, you know, are you sure that you would be able to, you know what I'm saying, basically measure up to what's already been there? Now, I didn't take that personal, and he didn't give that in a personal way. He wasn't trying to strike me down or nothing like that, but he was just being honest. But I thank him. So if he's listening, I hope he hears this. I thank you, because it was because of that conversation, Sister Angelica, that I started searching for other Reiki modalities to add to the Usui. So then my wife is a Kundalini Reiki master. So went on ahead, got that out the way. Yes, ma'am. Oh, it gets deep. It gets real deep. Um, then I found some other teachers. One of the ones that I like the most is Lemurian Light and Atlantean Reiki. I've been a little bit all over the spectrum with it, but it's because that brother said that, Brother Mark said that I went on a mission to add to what I already had. And then that's what helped build up to Reiki Day, which I'm sure we get to later on. And and originally, believe it or not, I did not want to be a teacher at first.
Mm.
But then um, with my son being diagnosed with autism, and then shortly thereafter the pandemic hit, I was like, I got to teach it. I wanted to give everybody the chance to be able to use the healing energies to help their families. You know, because we were in desperate need, and especially my autistic family out there, wanted to make sure that they had another avenue. All 3 of my children are attuned to Reiki, to Kundalini Reiki. So, and it's helped them tremendously. So that's a little bit of my story. I don't want to go too far.
Oh my gosh, I love that. No, you're fine. You're fine. That's what it's all about. When we talk about our healing journey, as this is Healing with Angelica, giving that insight of even how you got started, which will be actually my very first question I ask you before we get started. But for that, I definitely want to dive in deep about just the use of Reiki and how it's been beneficial for you and your children. So, praise be to Allah. So, we are going to go ahead and get started on today's episode, The Power Within, Unlocking Self Healing Through Reiki. And please, for my audience today, I always say, do not hesitate to put any questions you may have for our guests in the comment section below. So, Reiki, I am super excited to talk about this. Anyway, so
Mhm,
Reiki is more than just a healing technique, right? It's a
mhm.
sacred invitation to return to yourself in a world that is constantly pulling us in different directions. This ancient energy practice helps quiet the noise, realign the spirit, and activate the body's natural ability to heal. In today's episode, we're exploring the power within each of us to shift energy, release emotional blocks, and restore balance of mind, body, and soul. Whether you're new to Reiki or curious about deepening your spiritual practice, this conversation alone will open up the door to a deeper kind of self awareness and healing. So, Brother James, I want to
Okay.
go ahead and dive into just the start of Reiki. Like, I know you just gave us a little insight, but we're going to dive in deep, right?
Okay.
So, tell us a little bit about your personal journey And what led you to the path of Reiki and energy healing?
Well, I got involved with Reiki. It was actually because she's my ex-wife now, but at that time, my wife had actually started it first. She had found out about it and she had started the process. And once she started telling me about it, my first thought was, well, we need this. And as I would tell my sensei, Tina Harris, sometimes, at some point, I felt like just the amount of the cost of
Mhm.
insurance would start driving people to want to do more things to use alternative means for health. And so that's how I started and got into Reiki
Mhm.
because my wife introduced it my wife introduced me to it, who's now my ex-wife, and I just saw the value of it. Oh, and then once I started and my sensei, Tina Harris, told me that Master Usui had been hit with Reiki in the 1920s in Japan.
Mhm.
Now, my Muslim family understand. You know where I'm going with that. You know where I'm going. I was like, oh, dang. Well, wait a minute. So this must have a deeper meaning to it because we know what happened uh, in 1929. So that's what started my journey. Just knowing that this is something that we needed, that I knew would be needed at a certain point because of at that beginning time the cost of healthcare. But
Mhm.
of course, now we know now, coming up from 2009 to now, we know we really, 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 really need it because it's the healthcare system is just out there, and we got a lot of issues going on. So that's why I originally got into it.
Wow. And even when you talk about just the um just us seeing the healthcare system now and how much it's so important for us to take control of our own health, it's
Absolutely.
vital at this point. Um, so you did bring up again, I want to ask the question before it loses my mind. You talked
Mhm.
about how Reiki was beneficial for your autistic sons, three sons,
Well, I have two sons and a daughter.
daughter. Okay, yes, sir.
Mhm.
So how have you seen the power of Reiki influence your children with them being on the spectrum?
Oh, it's a blessing, sis. I mean, I try to. We have a nonprofit called McKeel's Path for Autistic Triumph, and I try to tell the other parents that Reiki is super beneficial because of the fact that number one, especially since mine are attuned to Kundalini Reiki, that means that their energies have been raised and they have a lot more energy that flows through their system. And because they got started at 8, it's going to do nothing but grow. I mean, they'll probably outshine me at a certain point just because they'll just have so much of it. But the other benefit is that, again, it's healing the system as it's growing. And what I've noticed that with my children, they seem to continually keep moving forward. I'm not saying that they don't have, times where they may lapse and so on and so forth, but I keep seeing them grow and grow and grow. Sometimes they'll say things that, where did you learn that? I don't remember even teaching you that. And and then because their mother has um, some issues as well, some health problems as well, it allows them to have the chance to help heal her
Mm,
and me when I ask, which helps them to not only be more aware of people's health and help, but it also makes them feel better because, wow, I can do something about this.
mhm,
And then with the different techniques that come with Kundalini Reiki, like one that I would definitely want the family to know is called situation qualities. It's where you can use Reiki to enhance any gift that you already have, as well as if you have an issue, like, dealing with uh, our situations. Anger is real.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to use it to help me keep my anger down, and it works. So when we talk about healing and Reiki, again, it goes way past more than just the um, taking away pain, depression, so on and so forth. But it can be used in a lot of different ways to help in a lot of different areas. So my children are benefiting um, because that energy is moving, is healing, and when you couple that with the other techniques that we have to use to teach and train them, now the energy goes from potential to connect, and they
Mm-hmm.
learn to use it. And so you can help train them that when they can sense a meltdown happening, they can turn it on. And how the Reiki can help bring it down a notch or two, and get them back under control. So when it when it comes to children, any special needs child, but especially with autism, Reiki is definitely something that's beneficial to the family and the children.
Mm. I love that. I love that. We already have a couple questions already, and I want to go ahead and give the audience some time to ask their questions. I already come with questions. However,
Yes, ma'am.
we got to show love to our audience, right? Shout out to
Yes, ma'am.
Billy, Sister Diana, Brother Tony. Thank you for joining us. I also see here Sister or Brother Thomas. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Okay, so we have a question here from Sister Allison. Let me
Okay.
see. Do, 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 do. Okay, so she asks, greetings. I've had Reiki done. What are the benefits of this practice? Thank you.
Well, I try to help people to understand. You know how in our world they you have this thing called maintenance drugs. Well, I would say use Reiki as a maintenance. If you get Reiki treatment like at least once a month, then you're cleaning out your system, but you're also empowering your system. If you're one who has chronic pain, it can begin to bring that pain down, especially if you learn to do it consistently. And I always suggest to people, it's also very good to learn Reiki for yourself. So you can give it to yourself, that'll cut down on the cost, but it also will allow you to come into more of yourself. I'm sure we'll get to that a little later. But the benefits of it is just that it can take down your pain, your anxiety, your depression. Basically, Reiki works on all levels. So it can work with mental issues, physical issues, emotional issues, and yes, in some cases, financial issues too.
Mm,
So that's some of the benefits of it. But because, like I said, because it's a universal life force energy, it can work in all different kinds of ways. Um, if we just learn to think about it, and especially if we're equipped with it, we can use it in a lot of different ways. I have my own techniques and so on and so forth, but I'm sure we get to that later too.
yes, yes. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Reiki. By the grace of Allah, I actually, and I'm gonna always give him a shout out, Brother Akili Muhammad.
Mm,
Akili, Dr. Akili. I connected with him even before I even started my processing journey and coming into the nation. He helped me with my thyroid issue, but he also recommended Reiki. He
hmm
sent me this Reiki video, and I'm like, what? What? I'm supposed to be doing something with my hands? Like, what does this mean, right?
right.
However, I continue to do it and I could start to feel the energy coming from my hand. It's like this vibration
hmm
um feeling coming from my hand, and as I'm touching each part of my body, you can feel the energy radiating from my hands to those different areas. So it makes me think, and please, I'm gonna need somebody's help on this because I want to be uh precise when I'm saying this. But I remember the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stating that in the new world, the people will be
Mhm.
healing their hands or using their hands to heal.
Yes, he said using energy. Yes, ma'am.
So that stuck with me always. And if anybody know exactly what was said, please put it in the comment section below.
Mhm.
However, that just make me think about just even with Mother Tynetta just saying how in a new world it's going to be less talking, more silence. So you can even understand the power of us tapping in and going more within, coming
Mhm.
into this new world and this new way of healing and living in health. Reiki is that new paradigm of health in an aspect, right? Because there's
Yes.
so many different energy tools that can be used, but I love Reiki. I actually did a presentation in my holistic class a few months ago, actually not a year ago, um, about Reiki. So super excited again to talk about this. I do see we have some more questions here. Can someone enter? Oh yeah, we got a lot of comments here. Okay, brother Tony Muhammad. He asks greetings. What have been some of the most significant success stories healing other people using Reiki outside of your family?
Well, that's interesting. And the reason I say that, okay, I think I will share a story, but I'm not going to use the person's name. I have I was attuning a student to a Reiki modality, and this student was high in Dianetics.
Hmm.
And one of the things that we found out is that Dianetics deals with a lot of the doors and so on and so forth of getting us out of reactive mind and so on and so forth. But we found out that a lot of the energy still needed to be cleansed out because you might have taken around the doors and stuff, but the energy is still there until you deal with the energy aspect of it. So that was a magnificent success story to me because we found out something so heavy that you must get the energy out. These negative things are still within us, and using Reiki to bring them out, to either purify them or send them into the light, as a lot of people would say.
Mm,
That is something that Reiki can be used for. And it helped her a lot. It helped that person a lot that we figured it out, and then we were able to work with it and get the energy, the negative energy that was still there, out by way of using Reiki. So I'll use that story. I had that story in my mind a little bit too, but
yeah.
that's, to me, that's one of the significant ones because it shows the power of Reiki, but it also shows that we have to put things in combination.
Mm,
Speaking of, my children are on the spectrum, then Allah allowed me to understand we're all on a healing spectrum right now. Because
mhm,
all of us have a whole bunch of different issues coming from a whole bunch of different places. And so you need something that can spread across the spectrum.
mhm,
And so Reiki being an energy modality, it could spread everywhere. It can go into a whole bunch of different things. And then when you add some other things to it, now you've really earned the benefit of it and find yourself on a higher level
mm,
by the time you're done.
mm. And even what you're saying that like that's actually going to take me into my next question because you said something about um like I took it as this emotional release or this energy that's trapped. Like,
Mhm.
even though we have these different ways of dealing with the mind, there's a certain type of energy flow that must happen in order to have I would say, like, a full healing, right?
Right.
Because, sometimes I believe that we stay stuck, and even like you stated, like, we stay stuck in those uh in those, I say, not I don't want to say habits, but in those spaces of things that have happened to us,
Mm-hmm.
um, because the energy and where it is in our body, can leave us to continue to deal with it in some type of way and aspect without actually releasing it. So I want to ask you, of course, like I said, many of us carry emotional and ancestry trauma. I think that's big. How does Reiki help in releasing those blockages?
Um, in Kundalini Reiki, you have a technique called crystalline Reiki. And we are taught in our manual is that when you have a trauma, you your body makes a crystal on your body and it
Mm,
stays there. But with the crystalline Reiki technique, the energy can be used to start to remove those crystalline structures that have been accumulating because of the traumatic situations that we've had. So Kundalini Reiki will help you to release it. Now, there is a limit to the technique. It's not, the manual itself will tell you if it's really, really deep rooted, then you really need to see some therapy. I mean, a therapist or so on and so forth. Don't just rely on just the Reiki taking it away. I mean, it's still, like you said, in the Tibetan tradition, they talk about how we have defense mechanisms.
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So when something traumatic happens, in order for your conscious mind to not have to worry about it, your subconscious mind will lock it,
Mm-hmm.
and it will use energy to lock it, to keep it out from your conscious mind so you can keep living and keep going through your day. So you're taking energy from yourself to lock memories
Ooh.
from yourself. But as we said a couple minutes ago, but so that energy is not going anywhere, it's just getting locked in. So then, even if you deal with the actual trauma, you still have to have something to deal with that energy because it's still sitting there. And so, using Reiki, again, it will help cleanse it out. It'll help get you back to your frequency. Now, it doesn't mean that, and I want to say this, it doesn't mean that Reiki is the end all of end all. Let me just give you one Reiki treatment and you good. No,
You know,
no, 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 no. No, because no, I have to say that because some of us believe that, oh, I took one class, I'm good. No, you're not. No, as you just said a few minutes ago, sis, if we have stuff from slavery of 400 years locked in our DNA, one treatment is not going to get that out. As
yeah.
a matter of fact, to be quite honest with you, and I want everybody in your audience to think about this, could you handle it
Mm,
if it took away everything at one time? We got to understand, some of us don't understand that that's why the Quran talks about stage after stage until you reach your eventual perfection. He don't say he take you right there.
okay.
No, you got to go through the process because we remember the Matrix when he meets the architect. Remember the architects told him, well, originally we made a perfect matrix, but the human mind couldn't handle it. That's why we had to change it and we had to add in the Neo effect to keep it going. So no, so family, please don't do that to yourself. Don't come to any healer and think that one shot is going to take away everything in your DNA, everything that you've been through since you've been alive, and so on and so forth. No, you have to keep working at it, keep chipping away, because like I said, a lot of us are not ready to deal with some of the stuff of the past. And that's why the Reiki system is here. When you take Kundalini Reiki, there's like 12 different techniques that come along with it. The crystalline Reiki, the past life Reiki, the birth trauma, something I never even thought of, but
Mm.
the birth trauma Reiki, because we know what the mother goes through during birth, but most of us never think about what the baby goes through. Having your head smashed, your shoulders smashed up against you, and so it's a traumatic event.
Ooh.
And so it's a technique that's in Kundalini Reiki to help us to come get over these things, to get the frequencies back in place and remove negative. And we got to do it, but it's going to take a process of time. I had to say that because, like I said, some of us really do think I'm good. I went to the class once and it felt great, and I feel good. It's
No,
not over.
no.
So,
I'm glad that you said that because, like, like you said, the Quran says from stage to stage until you reach your reach.
eventual perfection.
And when you think about that, and because of the depth of the trauma that we have experienced, we have been through a lot,
Yes, ma'am.
much that it has locked in on us what they call it epigenetics. It has been locked in on us so much to where we're constantly passing on to other generations, right? Or the next generations to come, right?
Hmm.
So you think about anything when it comes to healing, that's healing. Reiki is healing, but again, you tapped on something, right? And I want to say that because you got me excited.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted, more because you said that, are we ready to deal with it? That's the real question.
Hmm.
And I realized in my journey of healing and going within self, I have different layers that I got to tap into that I don't know if I'm ready, being realistic. How
Absolutely.
you have to tap into those spaces in order to bring out that person that God has meant for you, has made you, want you to be, right?
Right.
So I love that you said that, like when we think about diving deep into Reiki, understanding the different aspects of Reiki, understanding that if you're even ready to even dive into it, so that's why it can't be a one day thing. And unfortunately, because we've been so used to, I say this hot, they call it what? Hot pocket reality, where we just pop up
Dang, it's done. Oh no, no, it's
and
not.
think, oh, ready. Such a fast way of living, this fast
Yes.
gratification. So
Mhm.
wow, I'm so glad that you touched on it. And then you brought up, it made me think about when you said the birth trauma.
Mm,
And I actually, as I've been just tapping more into myself, I asked my mother just things that she was going through when she was pregnant with me.
mhm,
And I can say, like, wow, I can see how some of the ways that I am may have been affected during when she was pregnant with me.
mhm,
And just some of the things that she had to endure. And then again, we're not thinking about the baby, exactly
mhm.
what the baby has to go through formed. Like,
I mean, like I said, that's why I thank Allah for the Kundalini Reiki course, because of the fact that, again, it shows how many different factors come into our healing, and that Allah has given us something for those factors. But again, it's not a one treatment, you're good. No, no, it can't be, because of the fact that, as you just said, there's so many different layers to this thing. Could you handle just the remembrance of everything?
mm,
Okay, all right, audience, let's keep it real quick. Go back to high school. Would you really want all that stuff to come back up at you at once
Mm.
and try to heal from it while because it's now you got to remember so and so that happened, this happened. No, that's why Reiki is like, let me give you the energy. We're going to correct some of the frequencies. We're going to take it down. And then we're going to allow you to start thinking about it, seeing it in the right way.
Mm.
Because a lot of stuff may not have been wrong. You know what I mean? It's just our emotional state at the time that it happened. We jumped this way, that way, and then that ended up causing a domino effect or a whole bunch of other stuff happening. But once you can calm down and really think about it, now you can go in, as you were saying earlier, and start to think and start to work on yourself. But the Reiki will constantly help you to keep on a level head because it'll help you with your emotional state. It'll help you to bring it down. Like I said, it helped me to work with my anger issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a parent, we all have anger issues because your children don't always do what you want them to do.
That's
So you gotta figure out how to deal with it. And again, having Reiki beside you helps you to bring you down so you can start to think and be like, okay, no, this is not working, obviously.
exactly. Mm.
So okay, well, he or she likes blah blah blah. All right, I can. All right, I'll tweet. I'll do. All right. I'll do. We'll go about it this way. Let's see what happens. But you can't do that when you're all emotional and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So the Reiki helps bring that down. And let me see. It was the birth trauma, past life. Oh, and also one of the techniques is healing your DNA. That's also a part of Kundalini Reiki,
Mm.
healing your DNA. And I want to say this to my sisters on this broadcast, since I'm speaking with Sister Angelica, I would even want you to use that technique on your eggs. Heal them too. Now, I
Mm.
may have just shocked some people, but that's something that Allah put on my head. If you're going to do the person, and this is a woman who has eggs for the future, you better hit them too.
Mm.
To figure out technique to get it so that we can start fixing these things before they even get a chance to start. So according to the manual, you're only supposed to do it once, do the DNA Reiki once, because of our situations that we know what's going on right now. We ain't gonna get into all that.
Yeah.
We'd be here for days.
Okay.
But
Years.
yes, ma'am. But I'm saying you use that technique, sisters, on your eggs. Let's give the future babies a better chance
Ooh,
because we already know how badly we're messed up.
we,
As far as the water, the air, the land, the food, or what we think is food, and so on and so forth. Yeah, let's give them a better chance. So those are some of the techniques that come with Kundalini Reiki, and obviously somebody knew what was coming. Somebody knew what was going to happen. That we needed these things. So you get your Kundalini rays, which put you on a higher frequency, a higher vibration, which is what we need, especially right now, because we're being hit constantly with low vibrations all day long.
mm.
So we need something to counteract that. Then my class, my Awakening the DNA class, you need to awaken that too, because to awaken your DNA also helps to awaken parts of your soul.
Mm.
Because in your soul is your divine blueprint, what you're here to do, what you're here for. The DNA helps give you what you need to carry out what you're brought here for. So when you raise both of those, now you're in a higher frequency. Now it's harder for this world to get to you.
Mm, mm, mm. Oh my gosh. I love, so I know I had another question from a guest, but I don't see it in the comment section below. So listen, you guys, my comments is commenting. Y'all know y'all say life be lifing. So my comments are commenting. So some comments is I'm able to post, some it's not. But I did want to give a shout out to Sister Angelica. She stated she loved hearing this conversation. I have clients that are so programmed that they do one session and you don't hear from them until they are in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Praise
Mm-hmm.
be. Thank you for that. I have a I also want to shout out Sister Melva. And also you guys listen, if you guys are enjoying this episode just as well as I am, please, 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 please show your support, you guys. We've been doing this thing for 3 years, okay? Say 3 years in the making. Okay, please show your support today by texting the word donate. DONATE. Okay, donate to 937-313-2466. All donations will be towards the continuation of Healing with Angelica's podcast in the building of Healing with Angelica Community Healing Center. I love you all. Now let's get back to today's episode, The Power Within, Unlocking Self-Healing through Reiki with our brother James. So, brother James, oh my God. So I want to tell y'all a quick story real quick. So I'm telling y'all, when I get on the podcast now, I feel so relaxed. I be forgetting people looking at us. We talked about the energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that made me think about I had a Dianetic session
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't as prepared that I thought I was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
When I went into the session, so much things had to like come back to my memory
Mm-hmm. Yes,
to
ma'am.
when I left the session. Me personally, I don't know if anybody else has experienced it. I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I was exhausted. You would have thought I like ran like a track meet or like I was so exhausted from just having that session. It took so much energy and brain power for me to tap back into those spaces,
Right.
right? So I just wanted to just elaborate on that. I know we're talking about Reiki, but when you brought up Dianetics and how even through Dianetics, still having to release that energy that's still stuck
Mm-hmm.
in there, like like a
Yes,
closet,
ma'am.
a closet frame. So
Yes, ma'am. Especially those of us that have been alive for, 40, 50, what I mean? It's a lot that's hanging out there. And we got to figure out how to reduce it. And then, like you said, when you incorporate Dianetics to finally deal with it, now you like, but absolutely, yes. Well, I'll say this. Anytime you're dealing with energy, that's possible because sometimes you can go through a Reiki treatment or you can go through an attunement,
mm.
and you'll be on the energy will be high, but you'll be like, wow, whoa. I've had some attunements that was like, my goodness, what was that? Matter of fact, my one of my favorite Reikis to use now is my quantum Reiki.
Mm.
That was the strongest attunement I've
Ooh.
ever felt. Strongest. And I've been through a lot. I have at least 12, 13 different Reikis. So I've been through quite a few of them. But that one was off the charts. It was like, whoa. And
Talk
I've
to us,
had, ma'am,
I said, talk to us about that. What is that? That sounds, I don't know what happens to that. That sounds a lot. But you said quantum Reiki?
quantum Reiki. Yes, ma'am. Quantum Reiki is a Reiki that our teacher told us that the quantum aspect is that's the core. He said all the other Reikis come out from that one.
Mm.
And that's why we can actually attune ourselves to other Reikis without actually taking the class. We can use the quantum energy, quantum Reiki, and tap into other ones. So when I say it was strong, that's why it's strong. You're talking about you going back to the core now. Now you're going back to the real deal, full on, full blast energy. And one of the things that he said is that quantum Reiki goes from the fifth dimension on up. So just process that for a second. This process going through dimensions and how much power gets released as you're going up through those dimensions. So quantum Reiki is super powerful. Just to give you an idea, I was on a phone group, and I had told them that I had quantum Reiki, and they was like, well, let's try it out. So I took them through some things, and at the end, I asked the host, Brother Bobby, shout out to him if he's listening, and I asked him, I said, well, how many people was on the call? Because they all were feeling it. And matter of fact, one or two of them almost went to sleep. My wife almost went to sleep the first time I gave it to her. She was, I'm talking about 5 minutes, sis. I ain't talking about a full hour, half hour. I'm talking about 5-10 minutes. She was like, okay, you don't have to stop because you can ready to put me to sleep.
Oh,
okay. But on the phone call, sis, it was 19 people. All 19 were able to be hit with the energy. And I'm talking about on the phone. Because I watched the teacher talk about that's something we could do. We could send it through different things. So I was like, okay, let me try it out.
Yeah.
I sent it through my phone to everyone on the phone line. And it hit everybody. Yes, it's next level. Next level stuff. It went through the phone and hit everybody that was on the phone line and almost put a couple of people to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Try it.
So that's why I use my quantum energy in my classes now. Throne itself, one of my favorites. But it's a very powerful class because first we give you the quantum Reiki for your abundance and prosperity. But then, sis, the reason why I came up with this was because, again, the phone line, we were getting close to something. And they noticed that every time we did energy work, things started moving faster. So they said, okay, we coming up to something big. So, Brother James, you know what time it is. Okay, got you. So as I started to prepare the class, as Allah's my witness, sister, he kept showing a throne spinning around with a circle of energy on different sides of it. And I was like, what is this? And so then he gave it to me, and I will say it on your show. The Lord of all the worlds gave it to me. And he is part of it. He comes with the throne. And then he had me later to add a guardian, and you get a personal angel that helps you with the duties of your personal throne. And people have taken the class, so I'm not lying, and there's people that can verify it. It's a very powerful class because we're at that time, sis, where, the minister said that at a certain point, we're going to have to survive off of our own light. So Allah's like, well, I'm going to give them something that's going to give them a direct connection to me. And they can get light and power to make it through. I'll leave it right there.
Drop it.
Mic drop.
Talk about praise.
And
a lie. Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am. When we get to it, that's why Reiki Day is so important. I'm telling y'all. And when we get to it, I'm gonna help prove to you it is not me. Allah gave Reiki Day, and I'll prove it to you when we get a chance to get to you.
Let's go ahead and talk about Reiki Day, because time
Okay.
winding down, but we don't want to leave without talking about Reiki Day. Let us know about that.
Yes, ma'am. Reiki Day was started because my brother Munikai, did a video. He did an Instagram video where he was talking about he's on a farm in Japan. He's feeling so much better, but when he leaves, he said, I could feel the energy being taken off of me. This is somewhere in the pandemic time. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what's probably happening is because we're all on lockdown, we're creating negative energy vortexes. And because we're all locked in a house and we're all in on top of each other, then just think about a huge negative bubble forming, because none of us were ready to deal with ourselves. Let's just be honest. We were not ready. We were not ready to deal with ourselves. So from that, Reiki came to mind. And then again, as Allah is my witness, every time since I kept thinking Reiki, Allah kept throwing day in there. I'm saying it came from outside of me. I'm not thinking Reiki Day, but every time I think Reiki, after I saw his Instagram, boom, day. I was like, okay, Allah, I get it, Reiki Day, all right. And so then he starts making me think of things. Okay, originally it was going to be from 4 to 6. You know that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you know where I got it from. But then my wife said, no, that's not enough time for people to prepare. They're barely getting home. So we made it 4 to 7. Then we said 4 to 7 in each Reiki practitioner's local time. What that was going to do is the more people who Reiki practitioners that came in, that meant, sis, that you would have a perpetual rolling and compounding of energy throughout the day.
Ooh.
Because each individual Reiki practitioner is supposed to send their energy to the world, to the planet, not just mom and pop and whoever said, the entire planet. So I went to Brother Munikai because he is part of an international group. He's also a certified Reiki Master teacher, and so on and so forth. So I went to him because, like I said, I have 3 children on the spectrum, homeschooling. I got a lot going on. So I went to him like, bruh, this is what Allah showed me. Can you help? Because I think it'd be better for you to do it, because you already got connections. You're high up in the hierarchy, so on and so forth. He starts to talk to me. And as he's talking to me, I realize he's not talking anymore. I could tell that Allah has switched on. Allah was speaking directly through him. And at the end of him talking, he said, brother, that was not Brother Munikai talking to you. That was Allah. And I told him, I know. I noticed the transition when it happened. I knew that it was not him talking at the point, because he started telling me about Moses. He started asking me certain questions. I was like, okay. And so that's how Reiki Day got started. It started from Allah. Now, everything is constantly moving. It starts out with Reiki. Then I get a visit from Gaia. Now, anybody has a problem with me using Gaia, I understand. Mother Earth. She gives me a vision of her energy flowing over the whole planet, and even to the point that it was gushing out like a geyser on all the positive vortexes around the planet. So we brought her in. Then we brought prayer in. That was thanks to the Million Man March. Shout out to Sister Angela for doing the video for that. And then it came back. I mentioned my father was one of my angels. My father, as the pandemic was starting, my father said, I don't understand. Why are these preachers not getting everybody together and let's all pray? Why are they not doing it? Then he said, Well, you know what? I heard about that Facebook thing. I heard about you can get people together. Why don't you do it? He said, matter of fact, God wants you to do it. I was like, ooh, okay, Dad. Okay. But I didn't do it then. But this came back for Reiki Day. And I remembered him saying it. It was like, okay, I was given instructions again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're my two angels, because the instructions were coming from them. I just didn't realize it at the time. Well, with my father. And so Reiki Day now has grown into the days of prayer, which the ultimate aim of prayer, and I covered this on the last one, go to House of Healing Light on YouTube and see it. The ultimate aim of prayer is to make you one with Allah.
Mm.
That's the ultimate aim.
Yes.
This time, May 16th through the 19th, which is going to be the next one, we're going to talk. Allah wants me to talk about mastering prayer and becoming masters ourselves.
Mm.
So then the angels chimed in. They were like, you ain't gonna leave us out. So they gave me a way to connect with them. So we have, when you register, you get angel protocols. That was something that was given to me during the pandemic. Because when Brother Dr. Aleem started talking about the way that the shot was going to what do you call it? It can keep moving.
Yeah.
I can't think of the term, but anyway, so I went to Allah. Allah gave me angel protocols. When you call the angel forces in, you have them move out in front of you, with you, in your neighborhood, wherever you want to put them. But then they decided they wanted to be a part of Reiki Day, so then they gave me the meditation, so we can connect with them, and we can connect to the angelic realm, bring that energy down, and the angels themselves.
Mm.
They all in. They've been cooped up too long, sis. 6,000 years. Ain't nobody really talked to them. You know what I mean? The pages didn't go off. The phones didn't ring. No texts, no emails, nothing. They just up there like, y'all forgot about me? So, and I'll say this real quick. I had a really special experience speaking on that last Reiki Day, and those who did the class with me, they know what I'm saying. As we brought the angels down, one of them turned towards me and said, thank you. And then kept going. I'm not lying, people. I can't make this up. Wow. But that's what happened. But I know why he said that, because of what I just said. They've been cooped up. And it's like, finally, somebody trying to bring us all down. We try to have some fun too. We want to get to work. So so Reiki Day is designed, the three things, I'm trying to hit it real fast. Number one, and this is what Allah told me. And I'm saying this on your show. Number one, we fall under, he came to give life and life more abundantly. That's why he called it Reiki Day. I figured that out he showed that to me eventually. That's why it's Reiki Day, Universal Life Force Energy Day. It's a day of him giving life force to us. That's number one. Number two, he said to take us back to our original state. And number three, prayer changes things. And that's how prayer got added. And then it got turned into days of prayer, which is the Muslims first on Friday, the Jewish Hebrew family on Sunday. On Saturday, and then our Christian family on Sunday. So we need everybody to come, though, because it works off of the law of numbers. Yes. The more people who participate, the more energy that flows, the stronger. Just do the math, people.
Yes.
Put 10,000 people who have 100,000 units of energy, and we're giving it throughout the day. Can you really conceptualize how much power that is? That's going to be just flowing. And then we show you how to tap into it so it comes in through you and does what it has to do. But you're going to have all three energies flowing. But that's not even including the classes. The classes is know thyself. You want to get to know your energy personally. See how strong you are. See what it feels like. So we got that class. Like I already talked about the throne class. And then Allah this time is adding world synergy abundance.
Ooh.
We're going to tap into not only the abundance of whoever is there, but then we're going to tap into the world's abundance and learn how to use it to manifest what we want. Whew.
Our brother is raking. This, this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love that. Oh my God, Brother James. I just want to
Yes,
say thank you so very much for joining us today to discuss this well needed topic. Okay. The power within unlocking self healing through Reiki. I also like to thank my amazing audience in healing tribe for joining us today. I pray that this episode was informative, valuable, and of course, the number one thing healing to you all. Also, be sure to share, like, follow, and subscribe so you won't miss out on any upcoming episodes on any of your favorite podcast station. Closing the Gap broadcast on YouTube, Knowledge for Life on YouTube, and Healing with Angelica on Facebook and YouTube to help spread the light of healing to others in need. I do want to update you guys that Healing with Angelica has a new schedule. Make sure I'll put that up every time we do a show. So, Healing with Angelica is now every other Thursday. We're still moving, we're still grooving, but it's not every Thursday anymore. We are now every other Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you are ready to start your healing journey and don't know where to start, Healing with Angelica is here to assist. Get started on your healing journey today with my one-on-one The Healing Journey program by texting the word READY to 937-313-2466. Within that, you receive a free 15-minute consultation, including free The Healing Journey checklist. Also, I would like to invite you all. Listen, Allah put this on my heart to start doing this, and we've already done 2 healing circle, and it's been so beautiful. Okay, we have the healing circle, a sacred place for us all, men and women, to collectively heal together. The healing circles are every first of the month. So if it's on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whenever the first of the month is, we are tuned in to the healing circle. It is at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you like to join, just text the word circle to 937-313-2466. I also have our new ebook here, Thrive. Of course, it's available for purchase. Again, my goal is to get this ebook to over 100 young women and girls before the end of 2025. So you guys help me do that, right? So if you are ready to learn how to reconnect with self and God, get your copy today by texting the word Thrive to 937-313-2466. I also would like to share, by the grace of Allah, I will be joining our beautiful brother Willie from New Orleans. Okay. I have a testimony which will premiere Mother's Day. Okay. So you guys tune in this Sunday just to hear a little bit. Nah, it ain't going to be a little bit. It's going to be a lot of healing testimonies within this show. So be sure to join us May 11th. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central on I Have a Testimony, which again will debut on the Closing the Gap broadcast network. So make sure you guys tune in. Brother James, Brother James, Brother James, please, please, please. I need you to leave us with some closing remarks. And you know what? I also was thinking too. Nah, darn, we ain't gonna have time for that. We'll probably have to do that next time. Probably
okay.
Reiki example or some type of Reiki example. But if you don't mind, leaving us with some closing remarks and how we can connect and tap into you, especially for a Reiki Day.
Yes, ma'am. Well, for Reiki Day, just go to www.houseofhealinglight.com. Click on Reiki Day. Make sure that once you hit the registration button, look down and hit the schedule, because we want you to make sure that you can make the different classes because they're on different days. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. So you want to make sure you hit the schedule so you know what you got to do, because we want you there. We need you there. because the more of us that connect, then the more energy is now available. I'm gonna say it one more time. The more we connect, more of us that connect, the more energy that comes available to us as a whole. So we definitely want you there. The main thing I would say to everybody, please, please understand. If you know and understand that God is a part of you, He's already in you, then understand that Reiki is a master key to be able to unlock these powers within you. So if you begin to work with the Reiki, and again, don't put it in your mind, this is just a healing modality. It's not. It's way more than that. Master Usui, before his transition, was telling us that there's more to it. There's more to it than what he was already teaching. Understand that the basis of you is energy. So you master the energy, you master yourself. You use the Reiki to unlock things, and along with raising your Kundalini, raising your DNA, now you have a lot more things that you can do. So I just want us to focus, focus, focus on getting yourself to your highest self. Unlock it, stop, get rid of the limitations on your mind, and really begin to understand there's way more out here. You know, think about the definition: universal. Just stop right there. Universal life force energy. Universal. Stop thinking small. Universal. That key is now available. And I have to say this before we go. Understand this. Masters before you would have spent decades to get where you can get almost instantaneously.
Ooh.
So respect your elders. They put in big work. The ascended masters would love to be a part of Reiki Day. That was what they wanted. But they had to master just the specific way. But now we got it all available. I got to put that on your minds. We got it all available. So let's use it. And that's why he gave us Reiki Day. So we use it all. I never said only Usui people, only Kundalini people. I never said that. I said Reiki. Bring it all. As we said earlier in the program, this is a spectrum disorder. All of us are in disorder. So we need a spectrum of ways to heal the disorder. So everybody, unlock yourself. As this the title of the show, unlock yourself. Reiki is a key. It's a master key because, like I said, it's universal and it's life force. And what does life constitute? Everything. So put that in your head and work with it. Stop thinking it's just a healing modality. It goes past that, and learn from the energy itself. Not just what you read or somebody told you. You got to sit with the energies. That's what the masters did. That's how we can say that it does this, it does that, because they had to take the time to work with the energy and figure out what it could do. And the energy, and I'll end with this, Sister Angelica. I'm sorry if I went over.
Oh, you're fine.
I'll end with this. Energy has consciousness.
Ooh.
So when you work with the energy, you have to allow it, talk to it. It has much wisdom to offer you. You heard the minister when he said it was like a scroll got rolled down in his mind. Well, these energies can do the same thing. We say downloads nowadays. Get your download. I think I can stop right there because I'll start preaching in a minute.
Hey. This is bigger than ourselves. Like that's how deep this is. So yeah, we might have to do this again because this is a great topic.
Oh yes, ma'am. Oh,
you
so much more.
Something where energy has a consciousness, and it does, and it's not until and I'm so glad I love how you just wrapped it up with the unlocking self, right?
Right.
The
Yes,
Reiki.
ma'am.
So look at you.
Look at God. Look at God.
Okay, look at
Yes, ma'am.
Brother James, I just want to say again, thank you so much for joining me today to discuss this beautiful topic, the power within, okay? Unlocking self-healing through Reiki. Okay, you guys, I love you and I love you all. Please be sure to continue to tap in with our Brother James Green. You can follow him on Instagram, the House of Healing. Also, I have the website coming down across the screen, House of Healing
It's
Light.
House of Healing Light. House of Healing Light.
Yeah, houseofhealinglight.com. And yes, brother, may Allah continue to bless you with much success. And we leave you all as we came. Assalamu alaikum. Peace, healing, and light.
Assalamu alaikum, fam.
Welcome to Healing with Angelica.
Meditation. What got to say about how to eat the liver?